Hi, everybody. Westlake jumping on here with a chance to interview a recent graduate of Nicole Connor's Nourish Your Life program. One of the first time students, right? They went through her class the very first time, we call it the rollout of her class. And we're going to hear firsthand her experience and what she learned and how it impacted her life. So my guest this evening, Kathy Haigler, and she's from the great state of Kansas. I'm going to bring her on here. Kathy, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and where you're from.
Okay, so I'm from a little town called Rock, Kansas, or outside of Rock. Rock, it's 80 people with the cows and the dogs. Anyway, it's not too big for us. So we live out of town. Mother of four, married for 34 years, live on a farm. That's what you're supposed to be doing, right? Living on a farm?
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. I mean, that's kind of, in Kansas, if you don't get off Interstate 70, well, that's about all that goes right straight through, right? And there's a lot of things to see if you get off the interstate, but you got to get off the interstate first.
Right.
So Nicole Connor, her class, Nourish Your Life, 6-week online program. Curious how you found out about it. How do you know, or how did you come about meeting Nicole, and what got you under her class?
So Nicole and I met through Kibi Whitehead. We were taking coaching classes, and we had a couple of classes together, a little collaboration here and there, and we just kind of clicked. So anything Nicole was doing, I was doing.
That's kind of neat.
Following her around.
So Nourish Your Life, when I was first exposed to her program, or even heard tell of her program, Nourish Your Life, instantly I got these visions or imaginations that said, well, I'm going to have to start counting calories, watch how many proteins, how many carbs, and all the, the macros, the micros, whatever. But it's really nothing like that, right? It has nothing to do with it. Maybe you could elaborate on that.
Yeah, I didn't actually know what her class was when I took it. I just took it because I liked Nicole. So I thought, anything she's teaching, I'm game for. No, it's about a lot of things that I've studied throughout my life, just different areas. Like I'd taken the love languages, which is the first week. I practiced the spiritual practice, the self-care that in the second week, just a lot of things that I'd gone through, but I don't think I ever connected the dots to how they all interconnected. And that was one thing that the class really helped me do. I had all this knowledge, but it wasn't practical and put to use, maybe is what I should say. And the way that she presented it, then you see that, okay, if you're not happy in your job over here, it's affecting all of these other parts of your life. And so it was about trying to bring everything into balance for me. That's what I got out of it.
Well, I've heard tell, I've got wind from talking to some of her students, because I've looked at taking her class myself, that she goes into detail about this thing called a wheel and how most people actually have a flat tire, so to speak. Maybe you could elaborate without giving away too much information on what this wheel is that people are talking.
So mine look like this. And some squiggly over here. So it's about where you're at in each part of that pie, and then you connect all of those dots, and it shows you that you are out of balance. Even I thought I was pretty balanced till I took her little test, and I'm like, oh, I have some things that I need to work on, and then you spend the 6 weeks working on those different areas. Of course, you don't get it done, but it gives you a start so that you can work on it over the next period of the rest of your life, trying to get it in balance.
Well, I know she talks, I've got her syllabus here. She talks about nourishing your relationships, your mind, your body, your life with sleep, your career, and your work life. And I also do know that she has a weekly Zoom event where there's a collaboration that occurs between all the students in her class. My experience with those Zooms or this collaboration is it's kind of like the highlight or the creme de creme. It's the high point of the class, and there's actually some very good information and some major breakthroughs that occurred during that collaboration period in the Zoom. Maybe you could share your experience with your Zoom collaboration that occurred every week.
Right. So I think we started out with 4, and they ended up with 2 because their life happens and you have to work around that. But listening to everybody else's stories and where they were at and how they've overcome some of these situations was really good. I mean, there's things that you get in church when you have a good church, but just having, they were all friends. I knew everybody that was in the class, and my breakthrough was, I don't feel like my health is that bad, but the stress that I have at my job is creating havoc with my health. And so I have to fix the job. In fact, I did put in some applications this week to change my job.
Well, I've heard some stories. I talked to another lady, Sally Cruzen, who had an experience from the class that made her realize that that was her area that needed some attention, and she found a new job and a 30% pay increase to boot. So it actually worked out in her favor for her in taking the class. And then she shared how she is able to go back to her wheel and rebalance, because a change in your life now throws everything else out of whack, correct?
Right. You might not get a social life if you get a new job. And that was it. Another one that I was missing is I did not have a social life. We had our church, but outside, I didn't have friendships outside of that I had kept in touch with. I have friends, but I wasn't spending quality time with any of them. So that's something that I've really implemented, is spending time with other friends, and whether it's my husband and I together with other friends, or I've gone out a couple of times with some friends, just had lunch or something. I'd really abandoned that.
So you've had some benefits from taking your class. I can see it's impacted you in job-wise and also in your social life. So anybody that would be looking into this class as a possibility, as something they might need, when we look at people online, all we see is a picture, and all we do is read things that are written in print. We don't know who's on the other side of the computer screen. So maybe you can elaborate, help us out here. What is Nicole Connor like? I mean, what is it about Nicole that would lead us to know that she's reputable, that we could trust her, that we could count on her to be there?
Well, I had already had the benefit of being in class with her, a little bit of coaching with her in the other classes. She was a lead in a couple of them. So I had already connected with her. I'd already looked at her Facebook page. I'd already looked at, what she's about, because everything that's on her page is what she's about. Integrity, definitely integrity. Honest. She's got a heart for people. She wasn't bossy with us. It was more of trying to draw out what was already here, as opposed to trying to fill us up with what she thought we should have. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I do know that she is a certified integrative health nutritionist. And from what I've read, she spent probably a little over a year getting that education, that certification. So she's well qualified, right?
Right. She does a lot of research. She does a lot of testing and measuring. I know in her other businesses, she does a lot of that. So I know she quantifies everything. One of the things that would be really good, I know she does offer that free consultation, and just sit down and talk with her and see if she's a fit for you and what she's offering is a fit for you. I just did it because I liked her, but I'm so glad that I spent the money and did the class. I just feel like it was it was definitely worth more than what I paid for it. But it made me think, and I think that I'd got to the point where I'm just kind of a robot and I just do whatever needs to be done and I just get through it. But it really made me think of why my life was out of balance, what I needed to do. And she did have that, our collaborative classes gave us ideas of what other people were doing and what we could do to fix and work towards what we needed to do to even things out.
That's pretty cool. And there's not too many people that offer that consultation, and I really want to draw that out because that is a big selling point to me, to be able to call and confer with her, consult with her to find out if, in fact, I would be a fit for this class. Because, like I said, when I first glanced at it, I thought it was more a food-based thing, and what you're telling me, it's a balance of life, which is, totally different. And I wouldn't know that if I would not consult with her and get more information. So in closing this out, would you recommend this class to someone that might be entertaining the thought of reaching out and consulting with her?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'll probably end up taking it again. I'd like to see that my circle's straightening out, curving out, not straightening out. But you get something, it's like I said, I've studied all of the things that she's teaching. But you get a new perspective when you're doing it with other people, when you get her perspective and the way that she draws it out. So.
That's so good. I mean, that really is so good. I'm assuming she gives you handouts and information you can take with you.
Oh, yeah. Or you need to bring that stuff out, Wes, because I forget about it. Yeah, we had, she sent us a video every week. We had paperwork that went with it. We had homework that we could bring back. Yeah, and then we have access to that because that's all in our email, so we can go back and refresh it.
And at the end of the day, closing this out, and you can answer this and we'll close it out. When you go through a class and you take something and it gets in your head, does it stay in your head? Is it something that you apply and utilize on a daily basis? Anything from that class that you continue to use every day? Can you think of anything offhand?
Well, not anything specific because I can hear her little voice everywhere. Are you clouding out that bad food today?
Awesome. Kathy, it sounded to me like you had a very enjoyable experience. I know it's something that I'm very interested in. I'm going to get some more information myself. It's something I think I'm going to dig into here in the near future. Thank you for taking time to talk with me this evening. Hope you have a wonderful evening and enjoy the rest of your summer.
And I'll have to take your class too, Wes.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.